the ball. First and goal.
Watch out!
Cole through it. And the King reigns supreme through the air.
Welcome into another episode of Titans Tube, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Justin, and with me as always is Jake. And we are going to recap the Titans Week 7 shellacking. Did any of us think we would be leading off with that kind of headline? A Titans shellacking of the Kansas City Chiefs by a score of 27-3. All right, Jake. Okay, I'm going to say this right off the bat, and a lot of Titans fans probably won't like this because, you know, we want the credit, the national attention. All the national media is going to be saying what? Oh, what's wrong with the Chiefs? What's wrong with the Chiefs? How did they play this bad against the Titans? I mean, I love this defense, Jake. I love our defense. They are getting better and better every week. What I'm getting at is the Chiefs did play like crap, and that helped us out a lot. I mean, this is the same defense that gave up 27 points to the Jets. But yes, this Kansas City team did not show up to play. This was shockingly bad. The worst game they've played in the Patrick Mahomes era, I would think. So that set aside, I just wanted to acknowledge that part. But the Titans came to play today, Jake. And yeah, let's talk about the positives of the Titans and give credit to our Titans, Jake. All right, I'm going to throw it to you. I've rambled long enough on this long intro. But basically, Kansas City sucks. Titans are awesome. And that's how you get 27-3.
Perfect.
How do you feel,
great analysis. And I don't know if you heard it yesterday, Justin. I kept hearing it kind of creeping up. It's something really scary. It's Halloween time. And I think my Super Bowl expectations for this team are creeping back into the back of my mind. And that's a scary thought, Justin. That's a scary thought. We've already been kneecapped in our expectations once before this season with the loss of the Jets. But man, oh man, did we not expect this Titans defense to hold Patrick Mahomes to the worst game statistically in his entire career, Justin. Who would have thunk it? I mean, we didn't have Christian Fulton. We didn't have Amani Hooker. We're trotting out, dudes like Greg Maben, shout out, who played a great game. Matthias Farley playing in the secondary. Dane Cruikshank played Kelsey, had Kelsey frustrated all day long.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that. But unbelievable. I couldn't believe my eyes on Sunday, what we were watching there. And you got to attend the game for sure. How was the atmosphere?
Oh, it was fantastic. A lot of Chiefs fans in the crowd. You saw a lot of red jerseys walking around the stadium. But dude, it was I said this right before we started recording, but Titans fans are like low key, like very loud. Because, I mean, when the Titans did well, the majority, you could definitely tell the majority at the game was Titans fans. I mean, the Chiefs fans didn't have much to cheer about in the first place, but you could tell that it was a Titan fan-dominated atmosphere, which, I mean, it sucks that has to be like a headline, but it's true. Like, the teams that travel well usually dominate the stadium in Nissan Stadium. But it was awesome, dude. The crowd was into it. Long periods of time where at least in our section, fans on their feet, not sitting down, probably annoyed some of the older people behind us, but it was worth it. And everyone was in tune and locked into this game. And yeah, the Titans gave them a show. That's what if you want to fill up your stadium with Titans fans, that you play like that a few times and just make it a fun overall day. The weather was perfect. And yeah, I had a great time, Jake. I'm still riding high. I'm
love to hear it.
And
I mean, several Titans riding high on Sunday. I don't know who you want to start with. I don't know if we want to go game flow. The first note I have in my little book here, Derrick Henry jump pass. He kind of jumped. Yeah. He kind of tippy-toed and got it up and over to Michael Pruitt, who just all he does is make plays for this team. I can't, find an instance where you notice him and he's not, doing exactly what you want him to do, catching touchdowns, pancake blocks, you name it. He's got it. But Derrick Henry jump pass, and I guess we can start there. The Titans dominated yesterday, Justin, and it was a pedestrian day for Derrick Henry. 29 carries, 86 yards, 3 yards a pop. I mean, he had a few gashing runs here and there. 10, 12 yarders, but never really got rolling, never hit the home run like we might have expected him to against this lowly Chiefs defense, it seems. But I thought Tannehill was dealing yesterday, especially first half, obviously 0 points in the second half. But Tannehill was dealing early and often. A.J. Brown, the return. And the Titans did it without the MVP, seemingly enough, who threw a touchdown pass. He still contributed.
I mean, this is, this kind of performance, I think, is what we were waiting on all year. This was kind of the team that we thought, well, especially in the first half. We did all of our damage in the first half. That team in the first half could go toe-to-toe with anybody in the NFL. And, expectations were high coming into this year. And I think that it just took a while to get together. And they certainly put it all together in the first half of this game. Because like you said, Derrick Henry just 86 yards, 3 yards a carry. Kansas City sold out to stop the run, Jake, and they succeeded. But what did that get them? A 27-3 shellacking. This Titans team can be extremely dangerous. If you sell out to stop Derrick Henry, what did Ryan Tannehill started, 10 for 10 on passing? It took him a while to even throw his first incompletion. A.J. Brown was huge for us early on. Best game of the year for him. And I saw a headline of him saying, his food poisoning is still kind of bothering him day to day. So he's still not like at 100% yet. He's still got the sick feelings. But that was the most impressive thing to me, is how we won this game with Derrick Henry virtually neutralized. And he was still able to be effective on that pass because, you see Derrick Henry and Wildcats, you're going to collapse and try to stop him from running you. That's what you think is coming. But going back to the Baltimore Ravens divisional playbook, throwing out the Derrick Henry jump pass again. I love it, dude. Great way to start the game.
Love the creativity, Todd Downing. I mean, who would have thought he would have pulled the pass out? We've seen the Derrick Henry wildcat look a few times this season. Cam Batson back there, and you never actually think Derrick Henry's going to throw the ball. I mean, he did the one time, but that was the clear exception to the rule. I mean, if you line it up 100 times, the Titans will run Henry 98, it seems, because now he has 2 touchdown passes on the career. And it's funny you brought up the Baltimore game. I don't know if you remember that Marcus Mariota was in the game for that specific play, the pass to Corey Davis. Mariota was wide open for the touchdown pass. Derrick Henry needs to make the second read because Tannehill and Marcus Johnson were just alone. They were alone on the left side. But he chose to do the more difficult pass and dropped a dime to Michael Pruitt.
He wasn't wide open like those other two guys were. And he hit him in stride. I mean, and while he was jump passing, hit him in stride. It was kind of a wobbly spiral. We're breaking down all the aspects of our probably future quarterback, Derrick Henry, after Tannehill retires. But I love it. You kind of love to see that kind of creativity isn't lost. It wasn't a one and done, like you said in the playoffs against Baltimore. I mean, I didn't see it coming, and all 11 guys on the Chiefs defense did not see it coming either. What an incredible way to start the game. That kind of got the attention of Nissan Stadium, I thought, and people were they were bought in, especially after it was the A.J. Brown drive next, and Tannehill. You love to see the deep connection finally working, because Tannehill and A.J. Brown on the deep pass down the sideline is money, and it's a beautiful thing to watch, Jay.
It's beautiful. And the stat line from A.J. Brown, I mean, when he said he was back, he's back. 8 catches, 133 yards, 16 and a half a pop, and the great kind of turning back shoulder touchdown catch. Electric. Who A.J. Brown is back in full form. And, while we're going down the wide receiver train, Julio Jones, I thought had an okay showing. 2 catches, 38 yards, but that's almost 20 a pop. And I thought Julio really surprised me on his catch and run to get inside the 10 there. He stiff-armed the dude, looked a little young, Yeah. Julio's still got some tread on the tires.
That shows you. It's like, wow, he still moves like that. And it's like, man, this guy is special. And, it would be nice to get him a little more involved. We'd love to see him make more than 2 catches in a ball game. Especially because A.J. Brown has carrying the load with 8, and your next highest is Josh Reynolds. Look at that. 3 catches was your next highest receiver in receptions. Julio looks great every time he touches the ball. I just, I want to throw it to him almost every time. Just him and A.J. Brown. Why are we throwing to anybody else? These two guys are amazing. And yeah, I would love to see more of Julio getting worked in to the gameplay. Now, I know we did like target him a few times, and the defense made a nice pass breakup on at least one of them. But yeah, he looks good, man. Hopefully he can continue to just stay healthy, and and maybe eventually he'll make a bigger impact for us.
Yeah, and speaking of staying healthy, I wanted to stay at least another early in the game note I had that really got my attention, talking about getting the stadium's attention. Bud Dupree shows up, Justin. He may have only gotten there once, but a strip sack on Mahomes on the opening drive, 3rd and I think 6 or 7. It was 3rd and decently long. Comes way around the edge. Didn't turn it quite as sharp as you'd like to see, but hey, he got home, got Mahomes from the back, and punched that ball out. The Chiefs did recover, but I thought that set the tone defensively for the Titans in this game. So hopefully we can see more of that from Bud Dupree. Obviously, Harold Landry showing up again here, but definitely enjoy seeing Bud Dupree get home for, I think, the first time with the Titans.
Yeah, that was for sure his first sack. So, man, hopefully it's just a sign of what's to come with him kind of getting his knee right, getting healthy. Dude, this front four of Autry, oh my goodness, this was his best game. He's the free agent signing of the season so far for the Titans. And Jeff Simmons, Harold Landry, Bud Dupree, those 4 guys, and people have been talking about this. We were able to get pressure on Mahomes with 4-man rush. So that's what is the best way to do it, because then you can drop all your other guys back into coverage against a guy like Mahomes who can pick you apart. For some reason, he was just throwing balls into the ground. We might get to Mahomes a little bit later too, though. But back to this defensive line, dude. They were like taking over a game like it was 2008 when we had Vanden Bosch and Hainsworth and Curse and Tony Brown, another inside guy there, where they ended up just taking over the game by themselves. I know the Chiefs' offensive line isn't the best, but man, this is what we are wanting. This is what we are needing. We have a pass rush, Jake. Oh my goodness, how badly did we need one last year? And it feels good to get up in the sack column. I think we're 3 sacks away from tying our total sack numbers from last year. That is just embarrassing. But hey, they're getting it right this year, so I'll take it.
Yep. Yeah, no doubt. And, I thought it was kind of unsung hero day for the Titans. It was such a cathartic experience overall as a Titans fan to watch this, and to put, as you put it, shellacking of the AFC reigning champion, the Kansas City Chiefs, coming to Nissan Stadium and leave with 3 points. Unbelievable. That's complete defense. Even give Shane Bowen his flowers. I was fire Bowen week 2 in the Seahawks game, giving up big plays over and over and over again. And we've seen growth. So maybe, that's on me a little bit. Give Shane Bowen his flowers for calling a great defensive game against Patrick Mahomes with a depleted secondary. That's another thing. This defense is not fully healthy. And they held Patrick Mahomes to the worst game in his career. And another person who will be getting their flowers from, I think, both of us, Justin, Rashaan Evans comes up with a spectacular tip drill, diving interception, finally making a play. Love seeing Rashaan Evans get involved on this defense, and it was a great pick.
He got two of our turnovers with the tipped ball interception, and then he recovered the fumble right at the very end of the game.
I think at the end of the game,
5-yard line. That was who?
I thought you were bringing up Matthias Farley, who was another one of my unsung heroes, picking up the ball on the Mahomes scramble. Byard punched it out, and Farley picked it up.
I did have a moment. I was like, 21. Oh, man, we are deep in this depth chart. Who is that again? I'd forgotten. Yeah. And I remember him, Matthias Farley. He's not the Caleb Farley, rookie, another Farley we have.
And he's also not Malcolm Butler. You see 21, and you're instantly like, oh, Malcolm. And then, oh, wait, no, it's not.
I'd like to sign him back. Hey, what's he doing? Get him out of retirement. But anyway, but so Rashaan Evans, my point was going to be that he was around the ball. It seemed like he was in the right spots, and that was what he was getting roasted for, at least on social media. I mean, you saw the clips where he would just leave his gap, a wide open play for the opposing offense. But he's around the ball, and he's there to make the play, and he did. Ended up with 4 tackles and 1 pass defense. I guess that's the interception. But he was there. You noticed him. He didn't go an entire game with registering just a single tackle, which he's done this year as our starting inside linebacker. So, I love the flowers. Flowers for Rashawn.
Flowers for the whole defense, Justin. It's such an unexpected turn of events. And, albeit said, you started the show with it. And yes, I think the Chiefs do have problems. The Chiefs did not come to play. I don't think you saw the Chiefs A game on Sunday and beat them 27-3. You saw a really, really bad Chiefs showing. And, they're stuck at 3-4 now. I mean, where do the Chiefs go from here? A tougher AFC West. I mean, you got the Chargers kind of coming up with Herbert and yada, yada,
and the
yada.
Raiders, aren't really missing a beat without John Gruden. They look okay too. They're like 5-2 with us, I think. So, Chiefs are looking at the bottom right now with Denver.
Yeah, tough. And I don't know where you go forward from here as the Chiefs, but where do the Titans go forward, Justin? That's what I brought up the Super Bowl expectation for at the top of the show, because it's creeping back into our heads. Obviously, when you beat the number one team, maybe in the NFL, well, at least statistically, offense and defense, in the Buffalo Bills on Monday night, and then you turn around on a short week and beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the way that the Titans did on Sunday, who wouldn't have Super Bowl expectations creeping back in? And you look on Twitter and you see the Titans have one of the easiest remaining schedules in the NFL, and they kind of do. And the path to the 1 seed is open if this team can continue to take care of business. I mean, you win in East Rutherford against the Jets. This team is 6-1 with just the big fart that they let out on week 1 just to kind of get back into it. And you're looking at a 6-1 Titans team, but that's not how it goes, sitting at 5-2 and in a very, very, very important game next week in Indianapolis, Justin.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was going to say, like expectations and everything. I would be more prone to maybe talking about that maybe after this week, because this week, I mean, this is the biggest game. This is a bigger game than a Chiefs game. It's a bigger game than the Bills game, because you're seeing this Indianapolis team fighting back now at 3-4, getting a win in San Francisco last night. Hated to see that. We got to do everything ourselves here in Nashville to dispose of the Colts. But hey, if the Titans drop this game, all right, we've got ourselves a race for the AFC South title. If we can't bury the Colts this weekend, they are just one game behind us. They would be 4-4. We'd be 5-3. And this season series will be split. So I guess the next tiebreaker is division record. So you gotta win all your division games if you want that tiebreaker against the Colts at that point. But this is a huge game, and if the Titans can come in and win this game, go to 6-2, drop the Colts to 3-5 with the head-to-head tiebreaker, you can pretty safely say that the Titans are going to walk away with this division after half the games in the season, which is pretty crazy. But like you said the easy schedule. I mean, we play the Texans twice. We play the Jags again. We play the Dolphins at home late in the season. That's 4 wins. If we can beat Indianapolis, or if we can, take a game in Pittsburgh or New England, those are games against winnable teams. This team is definitely about to win 10 plus games this year, I think. So, I guess I'm just, speculating. I'm daydreaming right now. I know maybe we should get back to this Chiefs game, but this is the Tides are showing us some stuff, and this is a very good football team. And if, Derrick Henry can be Derrick Henry come playoff time, we could make some noise. And we're one of the teams now in the AFC. We have to be. We're tied with Cincinnati and I think the Ravens at 5-2 and the Raiders. But I think you guys say we're right there as AFC contenders. How can you not say that after a 27-3 win?
Yeah, and that's kind of why I brought up Indianapolis so early here. I mean, I'm almost speechless about what happened at Nissan Stadium yesterday. Who would have ever thought in a million years? We could go on and on, but that's why I wanted to look a little bit ahead to this Colts game next week, because yes, the Titans are now getting the national recognition, and I know it's what's wrong with the Chiefs, but the Titans are getting some buzz as maybe one of the top contenders in the AFC, especially after beating the Bills Chiefs back to back. But if the Titans go to Indy and lose next week, Justin, we're back to square one. We're back to square one, same old Titans. Just as soon as you get real excited about them, they have a letdown spot, especially in Indianapolis. Yeah,
in a game that, like I said, it is more important. And so I hope, we're not the players, coaches, I think Vrabel's a good rallier and, has this team focused on the task at hand. But these are like pretty big deal wins that could be emotional. It could take a lot out of the guys. We're still dealing with injuries. Jake, I mean, you get a different feel when you're at the game itself. But it did feel like every other play, another Titans player was going down with another injury. So we'll have to see the status on a few guys this week if they're practicing or not. But yeah, I'm ecstatic. But it's still, you turn around and you look at an all the more important game against Indianapolis next week, and they're playing their best football of the season right now. So yeah, I would love to talk about this game more, but all you can do is kind of look ahead at this point because you're excited. You're excited about the possibility of what's to come. I mean, I can sidestep over here. Why don't we give some flowers to our boy Randy Bullock for dropping what was it, a 51-yard field goal?
Yep.
He can hit long ones, Jake. He can hit the long ball. That's what we wanted to see.
He's officially my guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Randy Bullock, you're my guy. And Brett Kern will always be our guy. How about him coming back and destroying these punts, these Brett Kern-esque signature punts, dude, right? It just drops. It dies inside the 5-yard line, or it goes out of bounds at the 2 or 3 yard line. He was incredible. He shows you why. I mean, we're getting a little comfortable, I guess, with Townsend because he had come in and punted well for us after his initial horrible 12-yard punt. But he had been doing a good job. And then you see the difference in between your punter you're comfortable with and then a guy like Brett Kern who can just do things like that. It's amazing. Best punter in the league, in Titans history, NFL history.
Oh, even going back to Greg Hendrick. I mean, we've been having these nostalgia conversations, is Brett Kern the best punter that ever suit up for the Titans? But Randy Bullock is, I think, has to be the Titans kicker moving forward. He's stringed together several perfect performances, knock on wood again. But him hitting the 51-yarder and Brett Kern coming in and his couple of punts were coffin corners just goes to show how much of a complete team win this was. Everybody was involved. Josh Reynolds had 3 catches. You got Julio a couple balls and got him in stride looking good. A.J. Brown showcasing. I mean, Derrick Henry's pedestrian day is 86 yards. That's still got to be, top 15 in the league, I imagine, for a single player rushing yardage wise. But everybody was involved. Tannehill was dealing. Your special teams were on. Randy Bullock hits a 50-plus yarder. I mean, just everything went right for the Titans. Everything.
Dude, everything was going right. And it was like just the Titans day. Even penalty-wise, it felt like when the Kansas City offense was trying to get going, trying to get in rhythm. Ooh, they made a big play here. Holding offense, 10-yard penalty. And I was like, man, this is too good. This is too much fun. You're expecting something to just come crashing down and things to go horribly. And they never did. I was still not comfortable in the fourth quarter, being up 27-3, because we've seen how fast Mahomes and this offense can just rip off points. And at the end of the day, had nothing to worry about. This team had them on lockdown. Mahomes did not look comfortable the entire day. Just very uncharacteristic. I mean, he did have his characteristic Mahomes. It's become characteristic. Mahomes trying to make something happen. Ball bounces our way, turnover. And then not tucking the ball in the scramble. Kevin Byard with the forced fumble. He was just, he's a little out of sorts right now. And the Titans defense took full advantage of that. Again, dude, 3 points is just incredible. And we said in the preview video that turnovers were going to be huge. And they were. I mean, I think they stopped a couple Kansas City drives when they were deep in our territory. But I don't know, if we had lost the turnover battle, we probably still would have won this game by double digits, which is just crazy. So big shout out to this Titans team for being up for this one.
Unbelievable. I don't even know what to say. And, who was saying the split nonsense? I think somebody with a headband and glasses was on this podcast saying they'd be happy with a split of KC and Buffalo. Forget all that. We'll take them both and let's go to Indy and get the win. I can't say anything else about this Titans victory. It was almost too good to be true. I almost felt like I was dreaming at points. And, I don't turn off very many Titans games at the end, but we got to 4 or 5 minutes remaining, and we're like Chad Henne's in the ball game for the Chiefs. Unbelievable. Yeah. And I'll also, side note, I can't believe Patrick Mahomes cleared concussion protocol by the end of the game. That dude was KO'd. He was out. I know you might not have seen it. as well at the game, but on the broadcast, he was woozy, man.
Really? I mean, I just saw the replay and he was just down for a moment. I don't know if he was out or if he was just like, ouch, that really hurts. I need to lay here for a second. Because that did look bad. That looked bad when his neck like bent back when Simmons came rushing in. But yeah, as far as the Titans go, I still want to see the injuries and is Lawan going to be back from his concussion? When do we get Christian Fulton back? Because that's going to be yet another big boost for this secondary. Roger Saffold also left the game, right? I'm assuming from his shoulder injury.
Yeah, a couple times.
We did get back Darrington Evans. Do you have any thoughts about Darrington Evans? I'm glad to see him back. I'm glad to see him in there, but he looked like just like half a step or a step slower still. Maybe that's just him trying to get adjusted once again to gain speed for the 80th time after his 80th injury. But yeah, I still like McNichols in there. Honestly, I mean, I don't think this offense misses Darrington Evans by any stretch, but it was good to see him out there. So yeah, just another weapon, another way, hopefully, to take the load off of Derrick Henry, even though we still gave him 29 carries. Yes.
As far as Darrington Evans goes, one of the first things I noticed on Sunday was the Titans' second possession. It was the 90s, I think, 7-yard drive, which also, talk about a tone setter. Yeah. Really, really solidified that it was the Titans' day. But it was 3rd and 11 after, I think, a false start, some 5-yard penalty moved him back to 3rd and 11. Who else but Jeremy McNichols on a slip screen goes and picks you up 11 and a half, give him the first down. And I said, we got Evans back today, but who's out there making plays that would be designed for Darrington Evans, but Jeremy McNichols. He does everything you want him to do as the backup complement to Derrick Henry. Maybe he could run the ball a little better, but, you hand the ball off to the king. You don't really give Jeremy McNichols that many touches out of the backfield. But, I mean, at this point, it's McNichols is the number 2. I mean, I just said it, but he's done everything you want him to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm fine with just McNichols being in there, but I mean, if we can work Darrington Evans back, we had high hopes for him, and he definitely has ability. It's just a staying healthy problem. Can he get back to 100%? Because like I said, it felt like he looked a little slow. He looked slower than McNichols the times that he touched the ball. But yeah, we'll see about that going forward. And I kind of brushed over, Josh Reynolds, had 3 catches and whatever that led or was second on our team in receptions. But I am glad. I have been complaining and critical of Josh Reynolds not even being in the lineup. So I'm encouraged by his, 3-catch, 23-yard performance. I mean, he took a little bubble screen and took it for a first down. So, an instance, I think it was Tannehill. I think he recognized that and immediately switched the play. So, yeah, I mean, Josh Reynolds has a role in this offense, and hopefully he can keep seeing the field and getting some passes thrown his way. But yeah, it was good to see him out there too for us. But
yeah, and I think the only maybe glaring spot that the Titans didn't have show up on Sunday, Anthony Firkser. I mean, we got him one early. It wasn't a first down. It was 9 yards. It was so close. I had the notebook ready with my tally counter, but another goes to show. Another week passes. Another week of no first downs to report. I mean, that's kind of the only cog missing from this Titans offense, especially when they're firing on all cylinders like they were on Sunday. And where's Anthony Firkser? Is he not what we thought he would be? Was he more of a right place, right time kind of guy for Tannehill in that 2019 run? And, last year, especially, I feel like Anthony Firkser came on. But I don't know. What do you think of our tight end position? How comfortable are you with the rotating cast of Pruitt, Swaim, and Firkser?
Not super comfortable in like a pass catching regard. It seems like anytime that they're getting passes thrown their way, it's a very specific play drawn up specifically for them. I think that's what we see with Michael Pruitt, and he's done a good job for us. He catches the ball when it's thrown his way. And I guess that's, not necessarily Firkser's role. He should be one of those guys that's running a route that's, would be Tannehill's like second or third or maybe fourth read. And I don't know if he's not getting the snaps or if he's not getting open. It seems weird that we kept him on after letting Jonnu walk and just assumed that he would take this tight end 1 role and run with it. But it hasn't really been the case. So I think he just functions better as your backup tight end, tight end 3 when he was playing behind Jonnu Smith and Delaney Walker, maybe. I think he was here with Delaney Walker too. So, maybe he's just not built to be a tight end one. And he's, because he is that kind of weird slot receiving tight end where he's not that big, but big enough, but he's more, athletic and has hands to catch the ball. So yeah, I'm not super comfortable that we're, Anthony Firkser is going to pick up the slack if our passing offense is struggling and go off for 7 catches, 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. I don't think that's going to be Anthony Firkser, which could be a case when you do have a tight end one, like a Travis Kelce on the other side. So yeah, not, a little disappointing. Hopefully, Firkser will get his footing down. But at the same time, there's just a lot of mouths to feed in this offense. After Derrick Henry, you got AJ and Julio, Josh Reynolds. What are you doing with McNichols back there? Marcus Johnson, Chester Rogers when he gets back healthy. So, a lot of mouths to feed. So maybe he's just suffering from a lack of targets in general because of that.
That could be true. I mean, it goes to show that this Titans team is loaded, Justin, and we have a 2-year Super Bowl window. And I just, that's all I can think about after yesterday is that I don't want to have such lofty expectations again after them getting these expectations were smashed, squashed, lit on fire, and the ashes were burned after that in East Rutherford less than 4 weeks ago. And now we're already all the way back at the hilltop saying we can beat anybody, and it's an ever as is being an NFL fan, I guess, when you're live and die with your NFL team. This is kind of how the season goes. But it's all about taking care of business next week in Indianapolis, Justin. Do you have anything else on the Chiefs game before we take a slight look ahead, even though we've already done that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm good. We try to give shout outs where credit's due, but we probably missed something. But, just such an impressive win where it only took us 2 quarters to essentially beat the Chiefs and solidify our dominance here in this game. So yeah, super excited, dude. 5-2. I'll take it. I mean, dude, we can say whatever we want about that Jets loss and play the what if game at 6-1, but hey, sometimes the ball bounces your way, sometimes it doesn't. We could have easily lost that Bills game if Josh Allen is able to pick up that first down. Seattle, we snuck out of there with a win, so we could be 4-3. So I think things fell our way in those games, just like how things did not fall well, and we didn't play well in general against the Jets, of course. But 5-2, it's great. I love it. We can look ahead to the Colts.
And I will be in attendance in Indianapolis. There will not be a Titans tube attendance curse. You just got the monkey off of our back, Justin. You attended a major Titans game and they won. And now I will be attending an even possibly more major Titans game, and they're going to win in Indianapolis. I shouldn't say that, knock on wood, but as it goes.
The other Titans game that I've been to this year was the Colts game at home, and we won that game, Jake. So maybe as long as there's a Titans tube member at these games, then we're going to beat the Colts. Maybe that's the reason this Indianapolis curse has existed for so long, and it's been such a one-sided series. Titans tube hasn't been attending these games enough.
Yeah.
So
we just got to get out and support the boys.
Well, but yeah, so hopefully maybe it's not a you thing. Hopefully it's just a Titans tube curse in general.
I really hope it's not a me thing, because it's a 2.5 hour drive out there, Justin. It's no slouch. I'm going to be waking up early on Sunday morning, but would love to go to Indy, pick up a win, further this division gap. And you know what? Let's order our AFC South Champs merch at the turn of November. I'm very much in for that. And I know that my expectations and soul will be crushed if the Titans go to Indianapolis and lose to Carson Wentz. I mean, talk about having the ball bounce your way. I thought the monsoon helped them out. They had a couple of weird bounces go their way on Sunday night against a mediocre ho-hum 49ers team. So I'm not totally buying this Colts are back narrative quite yet. If they beat the Titans, I guess I have to succumb to it. But, I think this is a game that the Titans can and should win on the road, especially if Derrick Henry returns to form like he did last year in Indianapolis. So that's what I'm hoping I get to see.
Oh, yeah, right. And I mean, this nothing is guaranteed in the NFL, but like as the Titans, continue to stack these kind of wins, they're putting this monkey on, not monkey, but the the weight is getting bigger and bigger as they keep stacking this expectations weight. So if you knock off the Bills and the Chiefs, yeah, now we're kind of expecting you to go down to Indianapolis and pummel the Colts. Well, just get out with the win. You don't have to pummel them. We'd always love that. But
yes,
we're not used to these kind of these pummels that we just gave the Chiefs. So,
these shellackings.
Yeah, we need more shellackings. Hopefully we can do back-to-back shellackings. But, yeah, we got to, temper the expectations. The Colts are going to be ready to play. They're going to be seeing this as their chance to really get back into the season. And they will be back in it if they do win against the Titans. So this is their season almost. So it's going to be a tough game. The Colts are never easy. They're not going to be a pushover here. So Titans got to bring their A game once again.
Totally agree with you. It's all about taking your A game week to week, month to month, keeping that momentum. And boy, have the Titans stacked momentum. Do you have anything else for this edition of Titans Tube, Justin?
No, not really. I love the Titans, and they're the most important thing to me in the world. And it makes me immensely
got married recently, Justin.
My wife doesn't watch Titans Tube, so I'm safe. Don't worry about that.
Okay, cool.
And I'm just over the moon, and it's going to be a fun week. It's Colts Hate Week again, and we get to watch wonderful Titans highlights from last week all week this week on our phones, and it's going to make us stay up too late, and we're going to lose sleep over it. But we're excited. That's what we do as football fans.
It'll send us to sweet dreams. You'll dream about Derrick Henry touchdowns and jump passes and Rashawn Evans making plays, where that might only happen in the dream world. But it happened in real life this past Sunday, and the Titans get the dub, the shellacking of the Kansas City Chiefs, 27-3. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Tighten up. And we're not letting ourselves down in Indy next week. We are getting out of there with a win. I'm going to manifest it, put it out into the universe, and hopefully it will return in kind. Tighten up, Justin.
I love it. Yes, tighten up. Take care of business next week. You guys have a good one. Join us for the preview and the NFL picks for Week 8 later on this week. Thank you guys, and tighten up.